sagad na. Again, we are now live on Facebook at Presidential Communications Operations Office, Television Malacanang, National Quincentennial Committee, and all executive branch pages as we witness the arrival of the Quincentennial Balangays. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are now live on Facebook via the following Facebook pages: the Presidential Communications Operations Office, Radio Television Malacanang, National Quincentennial Committee, and all executive branch pages as we witness the arrival of the Quincentennial Balangays.
bota to, bay? Kaya na ng bota? Oo, sir. Yun.
And now we are welcoming the arrival of the Balangays here in Liberty Shrine. And now we are witnessing the arrival of the Balangays, which is the Balangay Sigayu and the Balangay Kulambo. Together with the Balangay Voyage team. Thank you.
Lalo ka na, tiga dito pa. Hindi na mga nagulat niyo. Oo, mga...
May na tulog na shawl.
Yung bandana nila pula po.
Bandana nila pula.
Asan si Aya? Sir, can we do a handshake with everyone po? Yung mga bagong dating po, handshake po ulit sa mga nag-welcome. Yes po. Yes, handshake po tayo. Ayan.
Again, we are now live in Facebook page, which is the Presidential Communication Operation, or PCOO, Executive and All Branch on Facebook page.
Yung sale din. Nandiyan si Ko. Nandiyan si Ko. Kasama niya natin na. Yung si Mayor ng Palawan. Yan. Huwag ni Magellan. Vice Mayor po. Yeah, yeah.
Nainitan lang siya ng shades. Captain of the ship. Siya nagpalaka sa amin. Una bumabas, kasunod na tayo. Ako kasi rin. This is the opposite of the
Again, we are here now in Facebook page witnessing the arrival of the Quincentennial Balangays.
Wala, namasa na yun. Namasa yun.
Bota naman sa babae.
Uy, nag-boots.
Pepe.
Okay, noted.
Kapag YouTube.
Wala, lobat ka?
Dito, makakalaw.
Dito ka, Kuya Jong, ha?
Again, we are live now in Facebook page, which is the Presidential Communication Operations or PCOO of Executive Branch on in Facebook page. Okay, we are now witnessing also the arrival of the PADS Dragon Boat.
Josh, picture daw, Josh.
We are also happy for the arrival of Mayor Ronnie Vicente C. Lagnada, the city government of Butuan. Also, Mayor Ami R. Alvarez, San Vicente, Palawan. Also, help me welcome Congressman Lawrence Timuel Fortun. Welcome to Lapu-Lapu City. Also, help me welcome Mr. Roel T. Maranan, the president of Ayala Foundation.
Mayor, dito ka, dito ka, dito ka. Join us. Taas na kamay, Vice.
Mayor Butuan.
Mayor, ganun na lang.
Please help me welcome Dr. Rene R. Escalante, the Vice Chairman, National Quincentennial Committee Chairman, and National Historical Commission of the Philippines. May I request for everyone to please settle down. At this moment, we will start the program. Again, may we request everyone to please settle down. At this moment, we will start the program. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, especially to our honored guests and invited delegates. Today, we are celebrating the voyage of the Quincentennial Balangay here at the historic city of Lapu-Lapu, Cebu, specifically here at the Liberty Shrine, also as the Mactan Shrine. Did you all know that the early Filipinos were called the people of the sea, living in coastal village or near rivers? Boats were linked to many aspects of Filipino life such as fishing, trade, warfare, travel, communication, and dwelling. Balangay was the watercraft that were used by early Filipinos, and it was first mentioned in 16th century in the Chronicles of Pigafetta, and is also known as the oldest pre-Hispanic watercraft found in the Philippines. And now, we are witness to the arrival of the Quincentennial Balangays, the Balangay Raya Sigayu, and the Balangay Raya Kulambo. And now we are witness the arrival of the Quincentennial Balangays, the Balangay Raha Siagu, and the Balangay Raha Kulambo. Again, and we are witness the arrival of the Quincentennial Balangays, the Balangay Raya Siagu, and the Balangay Raya Kulambo. May I request everyone to please rise for the singing of the national anthem. And please face left for the singing of the national anthem for the Philippine flags. Please remain standing for the singing of the Lapu-Lapu hymn.
Kita ko, layo. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Please take your seats. At this point, to welcome our honored guests and delegates, may we call on our beloved Mayor of the City of Lapu-Lapu, the man of the City Mayor, Junard Ahong Chan.
Thank you. To the Chairman of the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, as well as the Vice Chairman of the National Quincentennial Committee, Dr. Rene R. Escalante, Undersecretary of the Department of Tourism, Mr. Arturo Buncato, Assistant Secretary of the Presidential Communications Operations Office, Mr. Ramon Qualuping III, Assistant Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Eduardo Meñez, Regional Director of the Department of Tourism, Mr. Shalimar Tamano, DepEd Director, Ms. Bettina Aquino, Representative of the 1st District of Agusan del Norte, Congressman Lawrence Lemuel Fortun, Mayor Ronnie Vicente C. Lagnada of the City Government of Butuan, Mayor Ami R. Alvarez and Vice Mayor Antonio Gonzalez of San Vicente, Palawan, Lapu-Lapu City Vice Mayor Celedonio Sitoy, Councilor, members of the Lapu-Lapu, Honorable Efren T. Herrera, Honorable Nelson Oyao Yap, Assistant School Division Superintendent, Dr. Marcia Dignos, President of the Private School Association of Lapu-Lapu City, Dr. Caridad Labe, President of the Ayala Foundation, Mr. Roel T. Maranan, Senior Director for Corporate Communications of the Ayala Foundation, Miss Cicel Rosales Amores. Team Balangay Expedition Leader, Mr. Arturo Art T. Valdez. Members of the National Quincentennial Committee, my ever supportive wife, the First Lady and the Vice Chairman of the Mactan Quincentennial Committee, Mrs. Cindy King Chan. Friends from the media, fellow Oponganons, guests, ladies and gentlemen, maayong udto kanatong tunan. And welcome to the historic city of Lapu-Lapu. In the chronicle of Antonio Pigafetta, the Italian scribe of the Portuguese circumnavigator Ferdinand Magellan, evidences of the early Filipino craftsmanship and seamanship expertise were witnessed by the foreign eyes when they saw our natives aboard colorful ship called the Balangays. Today, Lapu-Lapu City is very privileged to have on our shores the replicas of the oldest known watercrafts found in the Philippines, Balangay Raya Kulambu and Balangay Raya Siyago. Made by the boat builders of the Dilaya tribe from Sibutu and Sitangkay Island of Tawi-Tawi. These Balangay are bound to complete their 2,000 kilometers voyage from San Vicente, Palawan, till it reaches the ancient kingdom of our pre-colonial ancestor, Butuan. Datu Lapu-Lapu, the brave chieftain of Mactan and the first known hero in our country, once lived along these shores we are standing on right now. He and the other ancestors were once on board ship like this, so it is but fitting that on the 500 days countdown before the 500 Quincentennial anniversary, we are graced with the presence of these majestic Balangay replicas. To our distinguished guests from Agusan del Norte, Congressman Lawrence Lemuel Fortun, Mayor Ami Alvarez, Vice Mayor Antonio Gonzales of San Vicente, Palawan, and of course, from the city government of Butuan, Mayor Ronnie Vicente Lagnada, thank you very much for being here with us on this special day. Our places are twined by the very root of what we celebrate today, our culture and heritage. To the team Balangay Expedition Leader, Mr. Arturo Art Valdez, you are a living legend. You and your team determinations in braving and the tides and have brought so much pride to every Filipino. Thank you for setting sail towards our shores. The Oponganons will truly remember this wonderful sight of Balangay Raya Kulambu and Balangay Raya Siyago glistening over the seas of Mactan. As we start the 500 days countdown today for the 500 Quincentennial anniversary of the victory at Mactan on April 27, 2021, we look back at the half a millennium worth of rich and colorful Philippine history. And to those who are here with us today, thank you very much for gracing today's event. I know most of you here have traveled far just to able to attend this noon affair. Once again, welcome ug daghan kayong salamat kaninyong tanan, and see you later tonight's official countdown. Maayong udto.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And now, to formally start our program, please help me welcome the Vice Chairman of the National Quincentennial Committee, who is also the Chairman of the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, to give his message. A round of applause, please, for Dr. Rene R. Escalante.
Mayor Ahong, Congressman Fortun, Mayor Ami Alvarez, Mayor Ronnie Lagnada, and of course, Mr. Art Valdez, other officials of Lapu-Lapu City, representatives of the private sector, especially my good friend, Mr. Ruel Maranan, and other delegates from other parts of our country. Mayor Ahong mentioned already the significance of this event. And in behalf of the Office of the President, the National Historical Commission, and the National Quincentennial Commission, let me just emphasize 2 points. The instruction of the President is we should make this commemoration Filipino-centered and at the same time inclusive. So as we prepare for this big event that will happen in April 27, 2021, we will try to walk through 500 years before our generation. So in this event that we are witnessing, we were focusing on one of the traditions that we had 500 years ago, which is the Balangay tradition. Before the Spaniards arrived in 1521, our boat building tradition is already very active. Not only in Agusan and the Butuan area, but also in other parts of our country. We will be putting up a museum in Butuan, and we will be showcasing this great tradition that we have. This afternoon, I am inviting everyone to troop to the Hoops Dome because we will be showing the cultural traditions of the Filipinos during the 16th century. I will not elaborate it anymore. I'll just tell you it is a must-see presentation. Now, we want our commemoration to be inclusive. Although we will be holding most of the activities here in Lapu-Lapu City and in the whole island of Cebu, yet we are inviting a lot of cultural groups to participate. And that is why we have representatives from Agusan del Norte. Again, this afternoon, the cultural presentation and the performers will be coming from different parts of our country, but majority of them will be from the Visayan Islands. As we approach the big day, we will be witnessing a lot of activities wherein, as much as possible, we will integrate and we will unite the whole archipelago by accepting numbers and entries from different parts of the world, including our country, of course. So muli, in behalf of the National Quincentennial Committee, maraming salamat po sa mga taga-Agusan at maraming salamat po sa mga taga-Lapu-Lapu City.
Thank you, Dr. Rene R. Escalante. Sir, thank you for that very inspirational message. At this juncture, leading the delegates of Butuan City, please help me welcome Mayor Ronnie Vicente Lagnada of Butuan City.
Sa akong pagtahod, sa atong pinalanggang mayor sa Lapu-Lapu, si Mayor Ahong Chan. Salamat sa pagdawat sa amo diri ug ang iyang Vice Mayor si Toy ug ang mga LGU family nga niubad kanato karon. Of course, wala pud di pud ni mahitabo kung wala ang suporta sa atong National Quincentennial Committee na headed by Dr. Rene Escalante. Sir, salamat po. Then of course, participated by different LGUs, We have here also Mayor Ami Alvarez from San Vicente, Palawan. Ma'am, thank you. But again, I would like really to extend a special thank to this guy and the team who really moved extra effort or extra mile just to, retrace history of the Balanghay. No other than in the person of Mr. Arturo Valdez and his team. Sir, salamat kadiyaw. In Butuan, we say salamat kadiyaw. So, of course, here with us, of course, is the Congressman from the City of Butuan, Congressman Lau Portun. Would like also to acknowledge Mr. Roel Maranan, the President of the Ayala Foundation, who is here with us. Ms. Cel Rosales Amores, Madyaw nga udto kaniyo hurot. It means good afternoon to you all. We come together as a Filipino nation for this symbolic and historic voyage of the Quincentennial Balangays and appreciate the significant part of our heritage and history. As the father of Butuan City, I fully support the National Quincentennial commemorations, the commemoration of the 500th anniversary of the victory in Mactan and the first circumnavigation of the world. To be part of this historical discourse is most fitting for the historic city of Butuan, the ancient kingdom that predated the Philippines as a national state. The city government of Butuan continues to showcase our city as the home of the Balanghays and celebrate our maritime heritage. We always speak of a heritage of the kanhing gingharian that was once respected, admired, and a seat of civilization way more advanced during his time. In fact, last 2017, we communicated our city brand to the whole nation that we are on a journey to becoming a city ascending. We call it Butuan On. We are embarking on a transformational journey from an old kingdom. We will ascend to become a hub city of opportunities for all. Even to our brand logo, the Butuan On brand, with a drawing at the side which represent the famous Balanghay boat in a modern way. It contains the violet colors which represents Butuan's royal ascendancy. The said logo also contains a shout-out tagline, "A City Ascending." We also fully support the Bill 4953. Congressman Lau Portun will expound on it later. And we even plan to have a pre-colonial museum, of course, with the help from our national government, to showcase our rich culture and heritage. We also plan to explore on a facility, a technology transfer agreement to reanimate the naval boat for better appreciation of Balanghay in these modern times. All these efforts will be a great gain for Butuan to make the city a center, a hub of opportunities, sustainable and livable to all. A center, show window, gateway to Caraga region, and a lead for Philippines to attain our cultural identity. May this discourse be a fertile ground for national unity, allowing us to reconcile pieces of our national history and national identity instead of widening the existing divides in an already fragmented nation. And may we be able to bring the true Filipino spirit to the fore. Salamat kadiyaw and God bless us all.
Thank you, sir. We would also like to welcome on stage Mayor Amy Alvarez of San Vicente, Palawan, to give us her message.
Hello, maayong hapon sa atong tanan. To our Mayor, Jonard Ahong Chan, Vice Mayor Celsi Setoy, and City Councilors, thank you for welcoming us to your wonderful city. Dr. Rene Escalante, Chairman of the National Historical Commission, and thank you for your message a while ago. Congressman Lawrence Fortun of Agusan del Norte, Mayor Ronnie Vicente Lagnada of Butuan, your city has played a vital role in history as the place of our first Austronesian migrants. Last but not the least, Art Valdez and his team, thank you for choosing San Vicente as the home port of these special balangays. I am amazed by the story of how you started this initiative. It was no easy feat, but you persevered, and now we see firsthand the fruits of your labor. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to ride the Balangay back in San Vicente. Being able to ride this replica of what our ancestors rode was a remarkable experience. Indeed, the Balangay is a symbol of the collective pride of our indigenous heritage. It shows the ingenuity and craftsmanship of our ancestors. And now, once again, I'm given the privilege to ride on board the Balangay during this ceremonial voyage. In the near future, we hope to see the Balangay in the waters of San Vicente as a boat that will cater to people interested in the ancient ways of our seafaring ancestors. In our own way, we will show the world the unique and ingenious craftsmanship of the Filipino people. Hopefully, the presence of the Balangay will also bring a sense of pride to the people of San Vicente and enrich our cultural identity as we are also connected to the sea. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And now, to explain to us the meaningful voyage of the Balangay, ladies and gentlemen, the expedition leader of Team Balangay, Mr. Arturo Valdez.
Mayor Ahong Chan, the gracious host of this affair who had really warmly welcomed us, Dr. Rene Escalante of the National Historical Commission and Vice Chairman of the NQC, our very dynamic Mayor of Butuan, Mayor Ronnie Lagnada, our present host right now in Palawan, Mayor Amiroa, who took time and on short notice accepted the invitation. My good friend Lawrence Forton, who's been a partner in the Balangay ever since. Mayor Sitoy and the City Council of Lapu-Lapu, the undersecretaries and assistant secretaries, the directors, members in the government, bureaucracy, our police force, the media, my teammates, members of the Voice of the Balangay. Can you stand up to be recognized? And of course, the people of Lapu-Lapu who had set up and made this possible. Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat. Indeed, it is unbelievable that we have made it here in Lapu-Lapu. Unbelievable that here we are, we're standing in this hallowed ground where our ancestors for thousands of years ago stood up and fought against European invaders. And here we are, standing in this hallowed ground with people from Butuan, unbelievably, riding with us, the members of the City Council, the Mayor Ronnie joining us, enjoying the swell and the waves, and then transferring to a small bangka. But they found also it quite exciting, challenging, and thrilling. On that note, maraming salamat being a sportman, yung mga taga-Butuan at kay Mayor Ronnie. Maraming salamat. But all of these are not made possible if not for the effort of Lapu-Lapu City. It is the effort. I'd been here a few days earlier. They were doing everything to make this possible, that there'll be a celebration that everybody will worth remembering. I remember working with Cindy, the mayor's energetic wife. I would like to greet her and thank her for all their effort, because I saw that she is the workhorse of the city of Lapu-Lapu in the brief moment that I was here. So you have quite such a team. Just like the voice of the Balangay, we have a team. Without a team, we will not be able to make it. The Balangay is a symbol of a country. It is the ship of state of the Philippines. We're a small group with a leader, and everybody played its role to make it happen. And finally, here we are. It's the effort of the city of Butuan. They were the one who really helped us a lot to make it possible, to help prepare our boat. They said, no, the Balangay has to play a role in this national Quincentennial commemoration. On that note, personally, it is Mayor Ronnie who had made it possible. Maraming salamat, Mayor. And so, here we are. All of this effort are simply symbolism of what Filipinos can really accomplish. It is a symbolism if we believe in ourselves that we can again reenact riding in a replica of an ancient boat and sailed it the way it was, powered by the wind and steered by the stars. And those wind and stars finally brought us in this hallowed ground of Lapu-Lapu to partake and enjoy this grand celebration. And on that note, we hope that we'll be a part of that, together with the canoe rowers and the bangka operators who had helped a lot in transferring us. We, together with you, will have a grand time this afternoon as we celebrate this grand opening of the 500 days prior to the 500th anniversary of the victory in Mactan. Maraming salamat at magandang hapon sa lahat.
Thank you, sir. At this point, may we call on Congressman Lawrence Limuel Fortun, representative of the 1st District of Agusan del Norte, to give us a talk about the Balangay as the national boat.
Madyaw nga hapon kaniyong nga tanan. Our dear Mayor of Lapu-Lapu, Mayor Junard Chan, and his lovely wife, Ma'am Cindy King Chan. Dr. Rene Escalante of the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, our Mayor of the City of Butuan, Honorable Ronnie Vic Lagnada, Mayor Ami Alvarez of San Vicente, Palawan, of course, the man of the hour, the expedition leader, Yusek Art Valdez. Sa mga taga-Lapu-Lapu, mga bisita, uban pang mga organisasyon, mga asosasyon, gikan sa pribado, pangpubliko nga mga sektor, madyaw nga hapon kaniyo nga tanan. The introduction of the measure to declare the Balangay as a national boat of the Philippines was actually inspired by the Balangay voyage. About a decade ago, Yusek Art Valdez and his team embarked on a very ambitious journey to retrace the route of our ancestors that established and maintained trade relations and friendships with empires and countries in the different parts of Southeast Asia and even as far as China. On board the Great Balangay Boat. The whole project did not only consist of sailing, but it actually started with building the boat. They built the boat without the usual blueprints, but only followed a tradition of technology that had been passed on from generation to generation. And we are blessed that until now, there are still boat builders in Sulu that employ the same boat building technology. If you look at the boat and compare it with the more modern boats of today. One would ask, this must be a foolhardy adventure. How would you brave the high seas and storms on that boat? Murag delikado kaayo. But they did it, and they completed the whole voyage. To them, it was adventurous, but it was not all about the adventure. It was for a larger purpose. Actually, from the building of the boat and the 15 months of sailing that ensued, the events that transpired were marked by not just a commemoration of history, but actually a living of history. They lived the lives of our seafaring ancestors that required, in order to sail, in order to build and sail the Balangay, that required community, amity, sacrifice, selflessness, and resilience, without which building the Balangay and sailing them would not be possible. So this is actually what the Balangay is all about. It is not just the boat. It is not just an old boat. It is what the boat inspires. The building of the boat builds friendships, and sailing the boat transforms friendships into brotherhood, into community, into nationhood. That is what the Balangay is all about. And that is why we pushed for the measure to declare it the national boat of the Philippines, for Filipino communities to have a symbol to identify with. For so long a time, we've been calling our villages the barangays. And the term barangays, we know, was called from the word balangay. Our constitution mentions the balangay as the most basic political unit of the country. Our local government uses the word balangay to refer to our villages. And this measure simply formalizes a national symbol that has been the symbol already for our communities, for the Filipinos. The measure has been approved on third and final reading in the House of Representatives. So it has sailed through already the House of Representatives, and it's on its way to the Senate. And we hope that our dear senators would be able to pass the measure in time for the 2021 Quincentennial celebration. At finally, it will reach the shores of final passage and approval. Para once and sundry, we will all have a symbol of community, of amity, of sacrifice, and resilience. When the Balangay team arrived, nung sinalubong namin sila sa Manila Yacht Club, you would really feel goosebumps there. Because when they arrived not only unscathed, alive and kicking. They actually arrived and emerged as new persons. They became like living embodiments of community, of amity, of selflessness and sacrifice. Just imagine the risk that they took to sail those boats, to retrace the journey of our ancestors, just to prove to the world that once upon a time, these ancient boats, these great balangays, were utilized by our ancestors to traverse different parts of Asia and the Southeast Asia. So ito yung simbolo. Ang resulta ng Balangay experience is not just about the adventure. It makes you a new person. It makes you love your country more. On that note, we are very thankful to the city of Lapu-Lapu for welcoming us here. Thank you very much for making this possible. And we are very much honored, and we are eternally grateful for the inclusion of the Balangay in the Quincentennial celebration. Madyaw nga hapon kaniyo nga tanan.
Thank you, sir. To continue our program, please help me welcome Mr. Roel T. Maranan, the president of Ayala Foundation, to give us a short message and to subsequently lead the symbolic distribution of flags together with Ms. Sal Arolas Amores, the Senior Director for Corporate Communication of Ayala Foundation, and Mayor Ronnie Vicente Lagnada of Butuan City.
Just very quick, I would just like to thank everyone for giving us the opportunity, to all our esteemed local officials. Really, the essence of this whole thing from a private sector, our main project is Maging Magiting. We took this because this is very inherent. Wala pong corresponding English translation ang magiting. Lagi po naming sinasabi, and that's why we coined the Maging Magiting as our very own, pang-Pilipino talaga. At sinasabi natin, together with National Historical Commission of the Philippines, we've been doing rounds together with Department of Education. We already signed with the Philippine National Police in the GHQ in Camp Crame. We've done rounds. We committed for 2019 to do 17 regions. And ladies and gentlemen, we have just accomplished it. As I stand before you, we have finished it, the initial round for the 17 regions of our country. The 10,000 flags is merely symbol because we believe that while we are an archipelago by itself, we are always and will always be united by only one true color, and that is actually embodied in our Philippine flag. And I am sure, together with this occasion that we have, we are not only relieving, but the appeal by our public officials here and public servants that each and every one of us should be a part of this journey. I always say, maraming oportunidad para ho sa bawat isa. Anong sagot ko nga ho dyan, ako, ikaw, tayo ang sagot. Ako, ikaw, tayo lahat ay dapat maging magiting sa isip, sa salita, at sa gawa. Kaya magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, sir. And now, may we call on the presence of Mayor Ronnie Vicente Lagnada and Mr. Arturo Valdez on stage for the symbolic gift-giving of Voyage of the Balangay Coffee Table Book to be led by Mayor Junard Ahong Chan. The coffee table books will be received by the representative from the Public and Private School of Lapu-Lapu City. to receive the symbolic flag. And the symbolic gift giving is from the Mactan National High School. May we call on Dr. Marcelita S. Dignos, Mr. Joel Duarte, Pico Clarito C. Baha, and Police Lieutenant David Senor, and from the Bureau of Fire Protection, Superintendent Crispolo P. Eusebio, Inspector Feliciano Miral, Inspector Rodrigo Igot, and SSO3 Primito Iquito. Also, we have Dr. Caridad C. Labe and Dr. Jeanette Berame, Mrs. Denisa A. Patalinghog, and Mrs. Bernadette Cal. From the Red Cross, Mr. Stephen John Rian Fuentes. And from the Coast Guard is PO2